Hello and welcome to the Chess the Gathering tutorial video that I am hastily throwing together tonight because I sent out an early version of this to test and see if there are bugs to about 65 people on our little Chess the Gathering mailing list, and within a little more than 24 hours we have over 4,000 people with access to the game. I wasn't expecting that. I'm excited and happy, but kind of freaked out. So I'm putting together this tutorial video so that some of those guys might actually know how the heck to play the game. So here you can see from our beautiful menu that this is a working title and it's very much a prototype. These four buttons are ones you really care about. This one's a really cool one, Game Board Editor. When you create a board and you play on it, it really affects the game, so that's important. But I'm going to skip that for now and jump right into the game. Local game would obviously be so that you could play like a hot seat game, but most of you are probably going to play on network, so that's create and join game, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, creating a game, give it a server name, pick between 2 and 4 people, give it a password if you want to do that kind of stuff, pick yourself a name, select the board. So there's a bunch of default boards that I've created that have the hyphens on either side. When you add new boards, when you create your own, they'll show up down here, so you can pick that. And then hit create, and away you go. And off on the other screen, I'm going to go ahead and click join game and join that game as myself. And bam, here we go. So, right off the bat, question mark equals help. That would be awesome if that showed up right there. It would make more sense maybe, but it shows up down here. So this is kind of a nice cheat sheet for anything I don't go over. And there's a chat window right here that if you select it and hit enter, then you can say blah to your friend / enemy, and they can say blah back, and that's probably as good as the conversation is going to get. So if you hold Alt down with the left mouse button, middle mouse button, right mouse button, scroll wheel, that kind of stuff, you can reposition the board. Q and E rotates it 90 degrees. And now we get into the game. So as the title might infer, Chess the Gathering is a bit of a mixture between chess and Magic the Gathering. Possibly some dungeon crawler in there. You see that there's a board that is very chess-like, and there are cards in your hand down here. And you're asked if you want to redraw. And just like Magic or most card games, you can first one is free, and then after that you get one less card in your hand. So I'll go ahead and redraw, and you can see how all those cards kind of shuffled. So let's go ahead and accept the hand. And then player 2 is going to be asked the same type of stuff. And I guess he is going to accept his hand. And away we go. So now you see that it's player 1's turn because there's a green highlight here, and I'm the green person, and I'm asked to place twin number 1. What the heck does that mean? So you get 2 twins in this game, and you treat them like kings, because if they die, you lose, and they move like kings. But there's also an interesting thing in that not only can you place them, but where you place them really matters, not only for defense but offense. And I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. Let me just for now place this guy right here, and then your opponent will place his twin. Let me just make it so that I can see the board a little bit easier on my other window. Oops, that would be a bad, well, that's fine, whatever. So he places him here. I'm going to place my guy here, let's say, and then he places his other guy here. Okay, so now that you've both placed both of your twins, you can see at the top here, these is kind of like the phases of the game. First you accrue mana, which automatically happens. At the end you're going to draw a card, which automatically happens. So the only real ones you have to worry about are move and cast spells / creatures. So accruing mana just happened. You get, right now I have 2 twins on the board. So I get +2, so I got 2 mana this turn. As soon as I start casting more creatures, for each additional creature I cast, I will get an additional mana per turn. So it's kind of this rich get richer kind of thing. So now, the first thing I have to do is move. So the only thing I can move are my twins, so I'm going to go ahead and move my twin. And you see here the red indicates where you can move, so I'm just going to click up here, and he's going to move. So now I can cast spells and creatures. So creatures are the animal characters that you see here. There's a fish, there's an eagle, and there's a snake. And they are inspired by the Haida Indian stuff, the First Nations stuff up in the Northwest, but we won't get into that. Basically, you see this moves like a queen, These arrows kind of indicate the direction. This moves like a bishop, and the snake moves like a rook. So I have 2 mana, and you can see that this costs 2, this costs 5, this costs 6, this costs 2, this costs 1. I don't know why I just listed all those out. So right now I can cast a creature or one of these 2 spells. This is a swamp. So I'm just going to start off with this creature. So I'm going to cast a fishy. So I click on that and see how it says placing this piece, and I can cancel if I change my mind. But you see all these circles appear suddenly. Creatures can only be cast where a twin can see. All right. Now this twin that I'm pointing to right now is the white dots, and this twin is the black circles. So it might be a little bit confusing, but he can see kind of like a queen can move. However, you might notice that he can't see anything adjacent to him. There's no white dots here. However, you can cast if the other twin can see there. So this twin can see these 3 squares and therefore can cast the creature there. He wouldn't, but this is kind of a cool way that twins can kind of defend each other. So what I'm going to do is, for yucks and giggles, I guess, I will cast him. Here is a cool spot because he's attacking both of those twins, but he'll die immediately anyway. So maybe here would be better because he's attacking this twin and won't die immediately. So I'm going to click right here. You'll notice that we just jumped to the other player's turn because I used up all my mana and I didn't have any left. So it automatically drew me a card, which is this new snake right here, and it went to player's 2 turn. Now you'll see that there's a little exclamation mark here, which basically means that this guy's in check and will die on the next turn unless something is done. So the first thing they have to do is move. So this isn't a very difficult maneuver. He's just going to move out of the way. And then the next thing he's going to do is cast. So I'll go ahead and cast a creature just so that you can kind of see again. These are all the squares that I can kind of cast as anything I can see. So this character can actually see all the way into here. So I could go ahead and put the other... my first self back in check, if you will. And we make it blink. We make an animation blink a little bit so that you can kind of see what the last piece was. And we also show the last piece that moved. That kind of helps out a little bit. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move out of check, hopefully. And now, again, I have 3 mana this turn because I have 1, 2, 3. So what I can also do is start to cast spells. So see this ricochet spell? If I click on ricochet, and then I click on a diagonal moving character, actually I'm going to cancel. You see how the arrows here point like a bishop? That means it can only be cast on a creature that moves diagonally. So the eagle or the fish, basically the bishop or the queen. So I'm going to cast that on him, and then you're going to see a little red indicator underneath him that basically shows that he now has ricochet on him. And I have a little bit of mana left over too, so I'll go ahead and cast the swamp just to show what a swamp does. I will cast the swamp. Now notice how I can cast this anywhere. Spells can be cast anywhere. Creatures can only be cast where a twin can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and cast this here just to show you guys what that does. So now, as player 2, I'm going to click on my bishop. And you can see that the bishop can't go into these places because the swamp will stop him right there for a turn. Then afterwards, he can move off. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and move him on here, and he stops. And on the next turn, he can move off. Now he can cast spells, and I'm just going to not have him cast a spell for now. So it's player 1's turn again. Sorry, this is taking a while. So now let me just click on him and let me show you what ricochet means. Ricochet means that he goes up here and he bounces off of the side of the board that way. Here he bounces once off the side of the board and goes up this way. So that's basically what ricochet means. This is kind of dead-ending into a corner. So ricochet basically means bounce off the side of the board. So he can now do something super nifty like that. So if I just do this, he's going to go down and across. Wow, that was really fast. So now, as you can see on player 2's turn, now he can move off of the swamp. So that kind of covers swamp. So let's just go ahead and move him, and then I will show you guys a wall. So player 2 is going to cast a wall. Now a wall not only blocks sight, but blocks movement. So if I place the wall right here, and it can hit R to rotate it. So let me just actually put the wall right here, just so that you guys can see what kind of is going to happen. And then, oh, one other thing, well, let me just do one thing at a time. So, alright, so now I'm player 1 again. I click on this guy, and see how he can't move past the wall? And if this guy was casting, he couldn't see through the wall, past the wall. However, what you can do, if you're absolutely crazy, is you can sacrifice yourself into the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and break the wall, but you're going to lose your piece. That's just kind of an interesting side note for walls. See this skip button down here? If you don't want to choose to cast something, you can always skip. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Snake, since it's the only thing that hasn't gone on here yet. I'm going to cast him right here just to put this guy in check. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just cast him here to attack the bishop there for some reason. So now, what else haven't I showed you guys yet? Let me just move this guy real quick. And I will cast... Oh, alright. Here, let me cast Wraparound on this snake. You see how there's a green indicator at the bottom of that? So Wraparound is another spell, and what that does is that allows him to wrap around the edge of the board. So you see, right now that I did that, there's check going on right here. So this character right here is in check, because this snake will go off the edge of the board and wrap around to the furthest edge, kind of like Pac-Man. So that's what that means. So now it is player 2's turn. If he wanted, he could win the game, but that would be so boring. I'm going to actually cast Ricochet just so that I can show you guys how to cancel spells. So my turn again. If I click here, you see how he goes off the edge of the board and around here. Zoom. Very fun. Could have killed you, could have won, but I won't. So now, what else can I do? Oh, you can cancel spells on other creatures. So what I'm going to do right now is, for no particular reason, cancel my own spell. So if I click on this, and then I click on a piece that has Wraparound, they will then lose Wraparound. He no longer has Wraparound. Now I canceled my own spell modifier, which makes no sense, but it makes a lot of sense if you want to remove them from other players' hands. And keep in mind that this is any spell. So right now, player 2, if they want, could cancel my swamp, and I'll show you that in a second here. Let me just make him move, and I will cast swamp on top of this swamp, and it will remove it. So swamps, walls, Wraparound, Ricochet, those are all spells that can be removed by casting the same spell on that piece. Alright, I feel like I'm getting a little long-winded here. Is there anything else I need to show you guys or talk about? You can't cast any spells on twins. Twins are immune to spells. You see how they don't have this nice little bottom disc here, so you can't put any chips under them, so they can't have Wraparound or anything like that. And nobody can cast anything on them. Mana carries over from turn to turn, so if we have 3 mana right now and we skip our turn, then next turn when we get the 3, we'll have 6. And you should declare check. It's a nice thing to do, but hopefully these check indicators will do that for you. And then the winning condition is if you kill the other twin. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Not much. Yeah. So I think actually I can do that. Yay, I win. Alright, I beat myself. Oh, sorry, forgot about this. Real quick, let's return to the main menu and show you guys how to make your own board. Very easy. Same buttons to move things around, and just hold the left mouse button and you will start to paint a wonderful board. And if you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it'll change the size of the paintbrush. If you hold Control, then or delete or backspace, then it will start to erase things. And you can make a beautiful board. And then when you hit S, that will save the board. You can name it whatever you want. And then when you go to create a new game, let me just, local game, new game board, which is what I named it. Bam, there is your beautiful, beautiful board that you made. And then you can play other people on. They'll automatically get it when they play against you. So I can't think. I'm sure there are things that I'm forgetting about, but this seems really long-winded as it is. So that's basically the gist of Chess the Gathering. Let us know if there are any bugs, and hopefully I'll redo this video, make it shorter or more exciting and funny or something like that. But thanks for giving it a try. If you want to give it a try, go to CTG, as in chessthegathering.misfitsattic.com, and sign up, and we'll send you a key, and then you can send some to your friends so that you can play them. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoy.